Oh no! Yes, it's more Jojo stuff. Finally, they reissued Part 2 Joseph and Caesar, and I'm very excited to review these. So yeah, Part 2 is my favorite part. And I knew when I was getting JoJo figures that especially Part 2 Joseph was the one that I wanted the most. And that was the one I was looking for, but it was expensive because it hadn't been reissued. So I was like, oh, I'll get Part 3 Joseph, and then I'll get Dio, and then I'll get Jotaro. And now I'm here, and I'm like, oh, I might as well pre-order Caesar along with Joseph, because, hey, why not? So yeah, here I am, like how many figures deep into JoJo stuff now? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are my 6th and 7th Super Action Statue JoJo figures. Will they be my last? Probably not. But yes, I really do like these figures. Honestly, out of the ones I have so far, these are probably my favorite. They're probably the best. But I do have a couple things I need to talk about with them. So let's move the figures out of the way and quickly talk about both of their boxes. Let's just get them out of the way here. So, Joseph Joestar. I love the boxes, man. They're so nice. Got all this metallic look to them. It's so high quality. They're really nice boxes. It shows off accessories and poses and everything. It's just a nice box, man. And same with Caesar's. Caesar's is honestly a little nicer. I really like the green. It's just it's such a nice box. I do wish it was different poses on the sides, but man, look at Caesar's poses on the back there. That's really nice. Good old Shiza. Oh man. Better watch above your head, my dude. But yeah, awesome figures, really nice boxes. Here, let's have them flipped for the rest of the video. Let's have them flipped. Why not? Let's do that. Let's do that. So let's bring in Joseph first. Joseph, and yeah, he's great. I mean, it's Joseph Joestar. What would you expect? It's my favorite JoJo, and my favorite part. So yeah, this is the Super Action Statue, Joseph Joestar, and as you can see, he's pretty big. He's definitely pretty big, especially because one thing about this line is that the scale is not consistent between the parts. Unfortunately, because when I got these guys, I was like, wow, they're kind of big. Because my Part 3 figures, like Jotaro here, let's take him off the stand actually, so you get even more inaccurate of an idea. He's like almost a head shorter, even though they should be like the same size. Jotaro-kun is actually a lot shorter because the scale. Now, granted, it's like you wouldn't really want these guys next to each other a lot of the time because, you know, it makes no sense unless you're going like for the weird video games. But yeah, it's very weird and unfortunate that these lines, you know, the same line doesn't even scale with each other. It's definitely interesting. It really is. But I do have to say, the bigger the better. This figure feels better. Honestly, it is better. I really like the size and the scale of the Part 2 figures. But yeah, there's a comparison with Jotaro. And then you do get the base. You can see Jotaro's, he's on his base. I think they're all the same base. Yeah. I don't think they're part specific. I'm looking. Nah, it's not. Yeah, it just says JoJo's Bizarre Adventure on it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I really like these bases. I really do. You can tighten the screws if you want. They really hold the figures up. Actually, I just discovered you can like dismantle them. I just discovered that. It's kind of weird. But like, hey, if you don't have as much shelf space, if you can only have like that much of it on the shelf, that actually is a very good thing because I personally don't have enough space for the whole entire thing. So I might actually end up doing that. So yeah, nice base. And then the accessories that he has currently, he has his normal expression, which, oh man, just look at him. He's oozing with both fabulosity and masculinity. That is Joseph Joestar. Yeah, he's got his crackavories. And you can see they've actually got the little J's on them. They're really nicely done. You can put them on the finger. He's got a splayed open hand right there. And he has more of like a hamon chop right there. And he also does have his scarf, which you can remove. Here, let's pop his head off and just remove his scarf real quick. Honestly, I really like the look of him without the scarf, because he didn't always have it. Yeah, I actually really like the look of that. He looks really nice without it. You are left with holes, though, unfortunately, but they're not very noticeable, at least not in my opinion. I say that even though I'm over here like, oh man, that new Venom from from PulseCon. Those holes on the shoulders really like break it for me. I don't want to buy it. So, hypocrite, hypocrite. Pointing at myself, not you. But yeah, man, it's a nice figure. I really like the volleys. I basically kept him with those ever since I've gotten him. But he comes with a lot more than that. We'll get into that in just a second, but I do want to show, because he is larger, I actually feel like this figure scales better with other 6-inch like lines. Like here it is, I just have him here from a Star Wars review. Here he is with Black Series Commander Fox. So you can see like he actually scales really good with like Black Series and all that, because yes, Joseph is supposed to be a very tall, muscular, 17-year-old guy. At least I think he's supposed to be 17. Yeah, it's just really it's really nice that these are actually larger, even though it's a shame for the Stardust Crusaders ones. But anyways, let's get on to the accessories. I have them here in this baggie. So let's pour out the baggie. Live pouring out of the accessory baggie. Ooh. So what has he got? He's got his crossbow from his final fight with Wamu. And yeah, it's really nice. You can see it actually does have the ball bearing in there. But you actually do get an optional piece. You just pop these out along the side here. This is so like excessive, but also very appreciated, because you get an optional piece without the ball bearing. That's so cool. Like, it's not drawn back, doesn't have the ball bearing. Like, that's so cool. Like, that's very unnecessary, but also very appreciated. That's definitely like an above and beyond accessory there. But me personally, if I ever will have him with his big old crossbow. Is that what you call it, crossbow? Maybe it's like a big old slingshot. I don't even know what you really want to call this. I think I've going in the wrong way. But yeah, it's, you know, if I'd ever want to use it, I'd want it with the ball bearing all locked and loaded. Yeah, look at that detail, all the gold and everything. It's gorgeous, man. He also comes with his hammer, which I actually did have him holding at some point. I just kept the hand in there. He's got the big old hammer. That's sweet. Definitely, this figure has a lot of like Final Fight with Wamu accessories. So yeah, that's really cool right there. I really dig the colors and everything. And hand time. He's got fists, so he can punch with Hamon. And then he's got, you know, open expressive hands. He's got that on the right there, and that's the left counterpart. He's got the trigger finger for the for like the crossbow. He's got more gripped hands, at least for the left here. I can't, that's probably for the crossbow to hold that. Then he's got like a right Hamon chop with the left right there. And he also has a point, because, I mean, it's Jojo. He's got to be like, your next line is, you know, he's got to have that. And last but not least, sorry, you got to look at my arm for a second. He's got his angry head. But he's a little angry, and he's wearing a certain little headband there that you'll see later on in the video. But yeah, he's pretty angry. Definitely a Final Fight with Wamu head right there. I can't really display this head because it's, you know, it's Caesar's headband, because Caesar, he gone, but he kept his headband, and you know, he wore that in the Final Fight with Wamu. So yeah, it's pretty neat. It looks good. I really like it. But me personally, I like the head he's got, because, you know, it's got a little bit of cockiness to it. It looks a little serious. It can kind of pull off both, you know. Has like Joseph's cockiness, be it his, you know, his seriousness. But yeah, it's a really nice figure, dude. It's really nice. I do wish it was in the anime colors. This is more of the manga colors. But then again, like, the anime, it changed colors a lot, like, stylistically, depending on the scene. And I just think of Joseph in these colors regardless. So I can't really complain that he's not brown. But yeah, man, it's so nice. It's such a nice figure. I love it. So his articulation is really good. He's got a ball joint at the neck up there. Move up and down. He's got a ball joint down there. Without the scarf, you do get a little bit more range, but he does have the longer haircut. And then he's got butterfly joints. He's got ball hinge shoulders. Swivel at the bicep there. Double jointed elbows right there. I just saw that pose and I just immediately thought, run, Smokey! I'm so awful. Yeah, he's got the normal kind of wrist pegs right there. Which I do have to say, changing out the wrists on this guy, similar issues where I feel like that very long peg and the stiffness of the hands does make me a little scared to interchange some hands, but like this hand's perfectly fine. His torso is really nice. You get a lot of range out of the torso there. I really like that. His legs move forward really good. Out decently well. You have a thigh swivel, double jointed knee. Feet move up and down. Do get a pivot, and you do have an ankle, or not an ankle. That's a toe right there. And you get to articulation. So yeah, man. This figure is very posable, very articulated, very expressive. I mean, it's Jojo. You want all the crazy expressive poses. And this guy really pulls them off. I really, honestly, don't really have any complaints. I really don't. Joseph's great. He is really great. I highly recommend this figure if you're a fan of part 2 of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Man, it's really great. You can see right there, I feel like the stand might need a little tightening, but it's all good. But yeah, man, look at that. Get him on the base. Holds up his weight. Oh man, that is great right there. That is an awesome, awesome figure. Let's set him off to the side because now it's time to talk about his bro, Bubble Boy. She's a Zeppeli. And yeah, he's great. He is also very great. So he comes with a lot more accessories. He comes with a lot more. Well, technically, you know, Joseph's got the thing and the hammer, but he's got bubbles. He's got bubbles. Bubbles are great. So, honestly, I will never not display him with this bubble effect. It just looks way too good because he harnesses Haman through the bubbles. And then he's got the little bubble things. I forget their name, but they're the little bubble spinners that spin so fast they're razor sharp. I love it. And he's got like extensions of the base that clip on. And I would say to clip these on, I wouldn't just fully go into it. I'd kind of like lip it on because that can crack. Joseph from part 3 has that for Iggy. And my clip for Iggy is starting to crack a little bit because I yonked it once. So yeah, definitely be careful. But yeah, get these little specialized pieces. You can tilt the spinners and everything. Same exact display base. But yeah, he's got look at the bubbles, man. It's got like this luminescent look to it. It's got like all these different colors, almost like soapy bubbles. Just looks so good. And look at his head too, man. He's got the little tattoos on his cheeks. He's got the same headband. I'll show it right now. He does have the same bandana. Slightly different color though. But yeah, it is supposed to be the exact same bandana. He's got like the little feather wing things. Yeah, man, head sculpt looks great. And he comes with other accessories, but like Joseph, I've got them here in a baggie. So let's show these. Most of these are just hands, honestly. So he also comes with an Angie head when he's facing off against Wamu. Because, you know, he's like, I'm going to go after Wamu because, you know, I got to do this. But Joseph was like, man, I don't feel like it. And, you know, but then he gone. Yeah, that's a nice head. I actually really like this one. I might have him with this sometimes. But hand-wise, these are all of his normal hands he has. So what's he got? He's got like Haman chops, which look really good. I kind of like how the fingers, dropped that. That went on the floor. Let's grab the other one. I like how the fingers are very like close together and actually are kind of tilted upward like it is chopping. Dropped that one. Didn't go on the floor though. He also has a point, which is nice. You know, he can point at things. He also has open expressive hands. So you can express with things. I really like the detail of the gloves. That looks really great. Then he has fists. I think I already showed those, but yeah, he's got fists. So yeah, that's a lot of accessories, but he's got another thing too. He's got something else. He's got the main thing. He's got the main thing that they're after. He's got the red stone of Aja. I forget how you pronounce it. It's the red stone that does the vampire, that does it does the Haman vampire, does all the, it's the red stone. It's that one. It puts in the mask and it's like, hi, it's that one. So it's red stone. Jojo's so weird. I love it. Yeah, it's actually got a real chain there. Man, it looks gorgeous. It looks really good. For how small it is. Wow. Unfortunately, the other side is very flat and under-detailed. Like, it just doesn't really look good at all. Can't even really hold it. There we go. But yeah, you can see the other side doesn't really look that good. If it'll focus. Come on. It doesn't want to focus in on its glory. Nope, we're not. You got a good look at it. You got a good look. But yeah, Caesar over here, he's really good. He's really good. I'm really happy with this figure. I did have one issue with him out of the box. One of his knees, one of the joints, because he's got double jointed knees. One of them, like the lower knee, which actually accounts for most of the articulation, was totally stuck. And as you can see, it was paint stuck. Yeah. See that right there? That's paint that I had to break the seal to actually get it to move, because his leg is fully painted and this joint is like a plastic piece that gets inserted into it. It was inserted before all the paint had dried, and it was totally fused. I had to heat it up like super warm. I had to pop off that upper knee joint, and then I just wiggled and wiggled and wiggled, and I seriously used pliers to do this. And then I heard a crack, and that's finally how I was able to break the seal. So yeah, definitely a bit of a QC issue. But hey, it's my first QC issue I faced with a Jojo figure, so I can't really complain too much. But yeah, good old Caesar here. Caesar Zeppeli. He's pretty great. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty great. I do need to take these off. I don't want to, but I need to for the review. So one thing, if you're changing out the hands, be mindful. His little wrist bracers are separate pieces. So what I would do is immediately replace them with different hands. Oh, that's not the right hand. Let's immediately replace it with different hands. So let's give him like the open hand. Here, and you can see how these hands swap. So it just kind of slots in right there. Let's get this hand out. Yeah, I'll definitely put that back on him for sure, because that's how I display him. But for now, let's give him the jazz hands, because he's we need to actually move him around. Yeah, his details are gorgeous. Oh wow. I mean, you already got a pretty good look. But yeah, man, the detail in the outfit, the face, all the little silver like beads in the costume. You look at these costumes and you're like, wow, these are really weird. Like, what time period are these guys in? These guys are in World War II. I love Jojo. But yeah, it's a really nice outfit. Kind of simple with the legs. Still has a lot of like nice paint texture. Man, it's just a nice figure overall. I really do like it. So his articulation, he's got very nice head articulation, because you've got a ball joint down there and a ball joint up there and a hinge. So you can basically get all the head motion you really want. It's very articulated at the head. He does have a butterfly joint. Shoulders move up, they move forward, but they do go a little outward because of the shoulder costuming right there. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, but unfortunately because of the costume it is a little hindered with the upper joint on this arm, but on this arm it's actually perfectly fine. So yeah, it's kind of an odd sculpt choice. But yeah, they actually kind of have a little bit of like a forearm rotation too, but it's kind of awkward. You have the standard wrist articulation where you can like rotate it and move it in different directions. The waist is probably just as good as Joseph's. The legs move forward, they move out probably a little further than Joseph. Thigh swivel, bend at the knee, and then up and down, tilt, and toe articulation. So honestly, when it comes to the durability of these figures, some of the Part 3 ones, I was a little like scary. Like they were a little scary to me, because I was kind of like, I'm kind of worried that I might break something. But with these, man, with these Part 2 figures here, I don't feel that at all. They feel really durable. They feel really solid. I don't feel like I'm going to break anything. Like, I feel like I can freely move these around and have a good time. These might be some of the most fun... Oops, see, there you go. It's very easy to pop that off. These may be some of the most fun action figures that I have, period. And I mean, it's Jojo figures, so they're super expressive, they're super posable. Here, let's swap his head. Let's make him angry. He's angry, and he's going to bubble. He's going to bubble it. But yeah, man, these figures are great. One thing, though, if you are swapping the head sculpts are very, like, there is some softness to it, so it's not like you're going to break the hair or you're going to break, like, these little, wings on his head. But it is a little rigid, and it does actually hurt your fingers a little bit. So be mindful of that. But yeah, man, look at these. It's just they're so expressive, And they've got these really nice dynamic display stands and all these dynamic accessories. And what you're left with is just really awesome figures. Like, I look at these two and I'm like, yeah, man, they were well worth it. Because these things aren't the cheapest. If you pre-order these from a place like Hobby Link Japan, oh, that was a burp. If you pre-order from like Hobby Link Japan, it's like $60 per figure, 60 to 70, and then you end up paying like, at the end of the day, shipping is going to probably be like $25. So yeah, they're definitely more on the expensive side. But do I think they're worth it? My answer is yes. I very much think they're worth it. I think these figures are awesome. For JoJo fans, especially for part 2, I highly recommend these. When it comes to my JoJo figures, I have the other 5. Like, I've got Jotaro in his stand, Dio in his stand, and then I've got Joseph from part 3. Out of those 3, they're really good, but they don't feel as durable. They don't feel as big. They aren't as big. They don't feel as good as these. I feel like these part 2 ones are where it's at. I personally, I'm thinking about getting the Pillarmen at some point. I might get the Pillarmen. I don't feel like they're as hot as these when it comes to desirability. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I need Joseph and Caesar first. I might get Lisa because I think she's coming out too. I might get Lisa. Man, these names. Lisa. What a name. Imagine if your mom's named Lisa. That's what his mom's named. But yeah, man, these are awesome. I love JoJo. I love these figures. Like I said in one of my previous JoJo reviews, JoJo helped me through 2020. Like, I started watching it in 2020, and it really helped me through the year. It's a shame that it took over a year since I started watching the show to get figures for my favorite part, but I think the wait was well worth it. I love these figures. They're definitely going to be in my top pickups of the year for sure. I love these. Out of these two, man, I would say Joseph's my favorite just because it's Joseph, but Caesar's just as good. Besides that QC issue I had, which is not going to be the case with probably most copies, these figures rock. I love the bubble effects, like the luminescence and all the color variation in that's just gorgeous. I think I've rambled enough. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think of these figures. Do you like JoJo? Do you think you'll pick these up? Let me know. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. Special shout out to the patrons of Patreon. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you all so much for the continued support. I genuinely appreciate it. Alrighty guys, there we go. Have a good one, and arrivederci.